end a little better than yesterday. Streamed at 1 hour. If you have seen it, I failed. I was getting pretty in, but I was playing this good, and we got to the last boss. We beat the storyline. It took me, and after the storyline, you do get more missions. You do get a couple of new enemies. And I think what the game describes is that you need to upgrade your hunter rank. Now if you complete a mission, you got hunter rank points. And if you are a certain level of hunter, then what the game says is that it unlocks more missions. So I probably don't think it will unlock more enemies. But if the end boss is the end gear, at least the visual look is alright. To be honest, at the moment I still think that the Refloss gear is the best looking gear out there. So in that regard, I'm a little bit disappointed that it really felt there wasn't much of monster gear to really, that are really like showcases the monster itself. But there are still a couple of gears that I want, and of course weapons, and now you could say that now the game begins, as I still need to have a gigantic amount of gear to grind and farm and do, and so I'm definitely not done with the game. And if the promise of Capcom that they're gonna regularly update the game with new enemies and new gear for free, it means that I'll be playing Monster Hunter for a shitload of time. And if you want to have some sort of little review, the game is absolutely fantastic. Now I understand that there are a lot of, I use the frame rate option, and especially if you're gonna play it on PC, that is probably going to be 4K 60 frames, but also if you play it on your Xbox One X, it also looks a lot better, well a bit better, and runs a bit better on Xbox compared to PS4 Pro. In my opinion, I think that Monster Hunter World looks fantastic. Absolutely fantastic, especially for what it is. As first it was kind of an upgraded PS2 game, and now all of a sudden it's like a current gen game. There is a lot of foliage, pop-ups and whatever, but I don't give a shit. The game is so freaking good. It's so much fun, especially with a couple of friends or online friends. It doesn't matter, to go and hunt and explore. There's huge worlds to explore, really, and to farm everything. And each time you do a hunt, you actually feel that you're progressing with your character. You're getting stronger, you're getting materials, and so I think that the game is fantastic. Like all the weapons, really, all the weapons look freaking badass. I want to have all the weapons. Holy shit. And I mean, even though Refloss is my preferred gear, a friend of mine, he doesn't like the Refloss gear. He's like, no, it doesn't look good, So there's something for everyone. There are like 51 or 52 gear sets. And because every piece of gear, I can show you, where is it? Equipment info. So every piece of gear has a different skill. Now if you go to high grade and you get the in high grade you have an A version of the gear and a B version. And the A version has standard 2 skills, but you cannot mix it. And the B version has slots. And in these slots you can input gems that has, of course, the gems are random, but that you can obtain from quest, but the gems are also skills. So for example, if you have attack boost level 2 and you have a gem for attack boost level 2, you want to have the B version of that gear, because then at the end it will have attack boost level 4 for just one piece of equipment. And what that means is, you see all this stuff, like this is something you don't want to have. You don't want to have level 1, you know, that's bullshit. You want to have level 4s and level 6. So, what did I do? Okay, so the level 1 gives you plus 3 attack, then level 2 plus 6 attack, all the way to plus 21 attack, plus you get at level 4 a plus 5% affinity. Now, as you can see on the right side, I have a weapon that already had 20% affinity, and now it has 25% affinity. That means that it has a 25% extra chance to actually do more damage. So, if you, for example, have a weapon you find really cool or is really good, but it has, for example, minus 10% affinity, you want to have skills that gives you an increase in affinity so that you can still get the best out of that weapon, if that is what you want. So I always encourage gamers to get the B version of the high grade gear, because it gives you slots to put in skills to mix, max and build your own build. But the downside is that some gear changes. For example, the Rathalos one, instead of a closed helmet, is now open. Now, I actually like that more. And instead of the spikes going left and right, the spikes are going up in the breastplate, and I still need to get that one. So you do see high-grade gamers that has mix matching, you know, randomized gear, because it gives you that particular skill that he wants for his build. And if you just want to look at the defense, pretty much like the low-grade gear, you can upgrade a lot more than the high-grade gear, meaning that maybe it's like 4 or 8 points of defense in difference. So that's not a big of a deal compared to the skill you would be getting. Join a quest. So, you know, in general, if you look at it at the first time, especially with the low-grade gear, you're like, what is this game? You know, when all the gear is up, there's anything else to do instead of, you know, in terms of customization. But because of the high-grade gear and the slots, and you have to also understand that some high-grade gear has 2 slots or 3 slots or 1 slot. You know, it's not always that the last gear is the best gear. If you're looking at a particular skill, respond to SOS high grade. Oh, look. Look. Ha. I haven't done those, to be honest. Let's do that. So what error occurred? Failed to join quest. That's not good. So there are, what I want to say is that there are a couple of enemies that you will not be fighting in the story mission, because I have done just story missions yesterday, and you won't be fighting every monster. So there are a few high grade monsters that you can fight if you want, but you don't have to fight them. So there are still a couple of pieces of gear sets. There are a couple of gear sets that I still need to unlock because I haven't fought that particular monster just yet. So there is endgame content, but I don't know how much. Okay. What were the investigations? About things, I mean, honey? Okay, honey and small monsters. And there he is. He's pretty strong. What's up, Nico Lopez? How you doing? No. Get in. Oh, someone died. Oh, they already died 2 times. Ah, suckers. I do want to have health booster, but get him. Okay. Why did the guy die though? Get down. Oh, there he is. Kick his ass. Did I die? No, I didn't. No, that idiot died. Oh, come on. And they're like Hunter rank 50 plus. Bull. Let's see if there's a rough loss. I still want to have that breastplate. Pusha Doara. He's strong. Or Gigante, he's strong too. Teostra, he's strong too. Did he have cool armor? I don't know. Can't remember. Slayer Gigante. Let's try that. He also has cool armor. Gigante. It's also the armor I want. But he's really fucking strong. I don't think... No, this is going to be a disconnect. See? Hunt all target monsters. Holy shit! Let's try it. Holy damn! See, there are more quests and stuff than it says. Ah, that sucks. He didn't want help. I don't want rush loss. Your hunter rank isn't high enough. On track 29, 2 Beetlejuice. See, there is more. I think my controller is dying. He's doing weird stuff.
They say XL-klaudkil command the wind. I'm not inclined to disagree right now.
You'll find the XL-klaudkil's roost higher up. Good luck, field team. If you get injured, fall back and wait for the next chance. Stupidity is not something I tolerate.
What's up, Ace Brand? Sunday is here and I beat the game.
We got it, loud and clear.
Next up, Shadow of the Colossus and Lost Sphere. I want to play that too. And of course, I'm still going to play this one. Oh yes, of course. Where? Oh, we don't have to go there. Did you read the announcement of PS4 almost shipped 80 million systems? It has almost outsold PS3 in less than 5 years. Holy damn. Isn't there a... Okay, there he is. I think my headset of my controller is sort of broken. I don't know. It's doing weird shit, disconnecting and stuff. Really annoying. Well, the forecast is still at 90 million. So, and of course, God of War is not coming out in March. So it all depends on what probably Japan is going to do. How much is the system going to sell after the first week of Monster Hunter? As at least in America, the PS4 is not selling as well as it did last year. You know, the Switch is definitely dominating at the moment, for some weird reason. So this boss isn't really that hard, he's just really annoying as he just flies back and forth and then goes down for a small amount of time. Like this. January MPD is not out, but if you look at Amazon, and Amazon has been predicting who won pretty well actually. I think it has like a 90% chance of it being right. And it says that the Switch is in its league of its own. Much higher than PS4. Much, much higher. But of course, it's all about the worldwide sales, as Japan definitely increases. I blocked that. But we shall see. I mean, if Sony doesn't really drop the price this year, then I have no idea what they're doing. Then I bet they think it's you know, enough. Yeah. But then again, like, if the system still sells 18 million this year, and next year is gonna have a big price cut, then it will be up next year. Then I guess they're fine too. I don't know what they're doing. I do know that they have made a gigantic amount of profit on PlayStation. I think this quarter was the biggest ever. So they're definitely doing something right. But I do still expect a price drop, definitely. But I don't know if it's going to be 200. I think maybe 250 with a game, as it's still selling incredible well. But it will be cool if it will be 200. Then the sales are going to be exploding. Yes, of course they're going to profit. But of course Sony is going for profit. That's obvious. That's normal. But they definitely understand that more consoles means more profit, as they will. A console user will buy games, will get the PlayStation Plus. So they don't make that much money out of a console. Smoke nut. Oh, he's almost dead. Then I definitely should be there, as I don't get rewards. I need to salvage him to get something. Yeah, definitely. You know what is going to be really interesting is what Sony is going to do with all that money they have obtained. Like, I definitely understand, like, this generation has proven, absolutely proven, that exclusives are a big part of what makes your system successful. If the Nintendo Switch didn't have Zelda and Mario this year, it wouldn't have sold as much as it did. It's a fact. Everybody knows that. If the PS4 didn't get as many high-profile exclusives, it wouldn't have sold as much as it did, as it's doing now. You know, that's a fact from both Japanese games and first-party games, especially first-party games. So, what my guess is that they're definitely looking to increase their first-party output in quality, not just make, oh, let's make, you know, 2 exclusives more. It has to be quality. And if there's one studio that comes up in mind recently that is becoming AAA, is Bluepoint. I mean, what they have done with Shadow Colossus is nothing short of incredible. Making it so beautiful, yet run at 1080p, solid 60 frames. It's getting incredible high scores. You know, Bluepoint has proven themselves to be really capable of making a game. And if I was Sony and I would want to have a bigger exclusive library, I would buy, or at least make a contract with Bluepoint to make a game. Because I truly believe that if Bluepoint got a chance, they could create something really cool. But let's just see what happens. I mean, they still have Ghost of Tsushima. They still already have so many games upcoming. Same goes with Nintendo, of course. Nintendo is doing a really good job of making sure that the Nintendo Switch is worth picking up. You know, sure, this year probably won't be as good as last year. There's going to be a lot of ports of Wii U games. But for me personally, I don't give a shit because I never played Bayonetta 2. I never played Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. You know, so to me, I'm getting 5 or 6 Nintendo exclusives, you know, in a year. That's pretty good. So yeah, I didn't get any stuff. Only the stuff I salvaged. But I still got money and research points. And Hunter rank. Now you get Hunter rank points. It's such a bummer though that Yakuza 6 got delayed. It's I think 16th of April and God of War comes out in 20th of April. So probably I'm gonna wait out for Yakuza. I'm gonna play God of War first. When I'm done with that, I'm gonna play Yakuza because Yakuza is going to be a big game. I mean, everybody knows that. Yakuza is a big game. And I think Ni no Kuni comes up in March. So that's the game I'm gonna play first. And then God of War, then Yakuza. And I still have a gift card of 25 bucks. I think I'm going to pick up Dynasty Warriors 9 with that. Because then the game will only cost me 30 bucks or 25. It depends on how much it's going to cost. I already did the limited stuff. Yep. Yeah. The hunter rank, and what I can tell is that the higher your hunter rank is, at a certain point, you'll get new missions and a couple of new enemies to fight. So now I do want to have the Rathalos or the Nergigante. That's also a good one. Rathalos or Nergigante. Oh, we can do this one too. I've never beaten him. At least not in high rank. So I don't have his armor. There are still a couple of big monsters I need to beat to unlock their high armors, high grade armors. So I need to do that. I do have to leave pretty soon today. My mother's birthday. So about 12 o'clock I'm gonna, so that's in about what, half an hour, about 45 minutes. I'm going to buy a cake and go to my mom. But of course I'll be back just, you know, in the midday, evening. Yeah, I know, like, if you wanna have I've now played 62 hours. If you really wanna have everything, I mean, holy shit, it's going to take you hundreds of hours to grind. But the thing is that probably, and that's something maybe only for me or for more gamers, is that probably I'll just, you know, get my gear, what I want, maybe get for the trophies, get some high grade gear, and that's it. You know me, I will definitely not be able or not going to get all the gear, because eventually there will be a point in this game where I think, okay, it's enough. And especially when, of course, the new game comes up. I mean, Wednesday, Shadow Classes, that's the game I'm gonna play after this. But what I hope is that Capcom is going to regularly update the game so that you know, we can keep playing. Like, we have talked about this with a friend of mine, and it would be awesome if they would update the game like once in 2 or 3 months, and then have like 3 or 4 big monsters, you know, more 2 or 3 new gear sets. That would really put in some extra hours for the game. So, but we're gonna see. Yeah, of course. You know, if you're a hardcore fan and if you really, you know, want all the gear sets, you're gonna have a gigantic amount of time to spend. But to be honest, like, I'm happy about the whole industry. Besides Microsoft, who keeps fucking up everything up, they suck. They should leave, to be honest. Like, Nintendo is doing incredible. You know, it's so deserved, all the sales they have been getting. You know, Zelda is incredible, Bayonetta 2, and all the other upcoming games. I can't freaking wait to experience those games I've never played. But also the Japanese market. I'm so happy about Monster Hunter selling 5 million. You know, I'm happy about Ni no Kuni coming out, hopefully gonna be great. I'm happy about Nier Automata selling 1 million, Persona selling 2 million and still selling well. You know, this generation is just incredible. And then we have the great, you know, exclusives. And if you want to talk about the whole industry, the whole gaming industry, you know, PC is doing incredible well. They're finally getting the Japanese games and stuff. So everyone is happy. Everyone is happy. Besides mobile gamers, they suck. You know, from last generation that they were talking about the end of consoles and they're going to die. Now all of a sudden we're talking about things like it's going to outsell the PS2, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. It's just fantastic. Definitely, it's almost a fact that it's a resurgence of Japanese games, and in the future, and I think we're going to see that again at E3, you know, is that Japanese games are going to be more important. Like, I've talked to some of my friends, they were talking about Grand Blue Fantasy. You know, he's a big gamer. He's a big gamer. But he doesn't play everything. He plays the good games. You know, he just has a small, you know, taste of games. And he was talking about Grand Blue Fantasy. I couldn't wait and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that game is going to be fucking awesome. Yeah, it's really an end of the era for Sony. I mean, so many people left, and it's time for something new. But something new can also mean something bad. But let's hope not. Let's hope something new is more in the veins of Nintendo, where they have done better than what the other guy did. And I still do a little bit hope that Japan Studios is, you know, working on a, you know. Oh, there he is. Working on a you know, a RPG. That still will be cool. Just a Japanese game. I don't want them to be all of a sudden not Japanese. We shall see. Of course, the Western market is the biggest market. That is just, it doesn't matter what you do. Even if you look at, you know, Monster Hunter, yes, PS4 sold systems, but Nintendo, the Switch did that in just a normal week. It sold like 160 or 170. You know, if it was a PS2, then it would have sold like 200,000 or 300,000. But the console industry is just not there anymore. Okay, so that guy is trying to fuck everything up. In no way can we beat this guy in less than 5 minutes. Yeah. If, like, if like, the only thing I can see selling more or selling at the same veins as Monster Hunter is Final Fantasy VII. You know, it's Final Fantasy VII. If somehow, or Kingdom Hearts, you know, we still have some really good games to come out. Yes, well, we're gonna see as with Shadow of the Colossus. You know, Shadow of the Colossus is a Japanese game. It's not made by Japanese this time, but originally it's a Japanese game, okay? It has at Metacritic's a 9.3. In this day of age, compared to PS2, everyone can see that. You know, more and more gamers and casual gamers are looking at MPDs, or I mean Metacritics and reviews. So everyone is seeing that this game was fantastic. A masterpiece. Now let's see if the game can sell. You know, now we have to see if Shadow of the Colossus can actually sell like 1 million. That would be a big success, I think. A game like that, selling 1 million. Oh, I got a plate. Fans Armosphere. Oh, okay. Ooh, that's actually a good one, because there's one boss, he's really annoying. He used as FLUF or whatever. I still need to get neck too. Yeah, definitely. You know, we have been talking about this, and it's kind of, if you look at it, it's really logical that we haven't seen anything from, you know, Japan Studios. If you look at check the optional. Oh, let's do that. So this year and next year, we kind of can guess what type of games are going to come out. Shadow Colossus, God of War, Spider-Man, Days Gone, Detroit, you know, Ghost of Tsushima is probably a game for next year, you know. We can pretty much guarantee those games are going to come out in Elder Dragons. Let's do that. But here's the thing. What is going to come out in 2020? Now, you could say that there's nothing coming out because Sony is preparing the PlayStation 5 in 2020. It's going to come out in that time. That's a theory. That could be true. 2020 would be a pretty good time to release the PlayStation 5. And if they would focus on exclusives, then it would be pretty good. But as we have been talking about, that potentially the PlayStation 5 could come out in the beginning of 2021, you know, they still need to release something in 2020. So it could be that those are these games that we haven't heard of. And what we're getting from E3, what's going to be announced this year, could potentially be for 2020. Now, I do predict, let's just keep it at that, I predict that Sony is going the Nintendo way. In the terms of, they want to have 1 or 2 big exclusives ready to go in the first year of the PlayStation 5. They don't want what happened to PS4, where there were just a couple of exclusives. Not only were they mediocre, for the big ones, we have to wait a long ass time. And Nintendo really showed that if you release some good exclusives, people will buy your system. You know, everybody thought Nintendo Switch was overpriced. I thought it was overpriced. But the power of Zelda, the power of Mario, you know, is making people buy their system because they just want to play it. Definitely, yeah. So, but if we look at Horizon 2, and okay, Horizon came out last year. They started with Horizon 2. It will be sort of 2017, 2018, 2019, and then 2020. 4 years. You know, I don't know. So 4 or 5 years would be enough. But because the PS4 is still selling so incredibly well, I really believe that Sony is, and not only Sony, but Nintendo and hopefully Microsoft is going to push for at least 1 more year. So 2021, that's my prediction. 2021, PlayStation 5 comes out. Then certain developers had 5 years up until last year to produce an exclusive game. Yes. You know, I really think that Sony is going to give them a year more because they're like, why would we? That's the biggest question that you can ask yourself and anyone who thinks the PlayStation 4 is coming out this year or next year, why would they release a new system when this system is breaking profit records for Sony? The same goes with Nintendo, the same goes with Microsoft. You know, Nintendo already said that they are going to break the mold and going to support the Switch more than 5 or 6 years. Finally, you know, finally. I think we are at a certain point in time where graphics doesn't really matter that much anymore. It's you know, it's about the game itself. And if you look at Zelda, if you look at the Nintendo Switch in general, it is so underpowered. But still, the games are selling like hotcakes because they're good. You know, it doesn't matter that Zelda is no Horizon. It looks beautiful on its own. And Mario is not a Ratchet and Clank graphics, but it looks incredible and plays incredible on its own. You know? So I think that if Sony and Microsoft and of course Nintendo is not going to do anything, but if Sony waits one more year to let developers make the games and keep them ready for PlayStation 5, you know, I think we're gonna have some incredible stuff. And like the PlayStation 4 could actually outsell the PS2 if that happens. If we're gonna see $150 PS4, you know, still selling after PlayStation 5 launches, I don't know. It's at least going to be really... This year, they could actually already have 100 million shipped. It could happen. God damn it, I don't need the skills. Yeah, we are definitely going to get a Monster Hunter World 2nd generation. I mean, Monster Hunter World can actually sell like 10 million across all platforms, including PC. That is an unprecedented success. They're definitely not going to abandon the consoles again. They're not going to do that. You know what I would love to see from Capcom? A new RPG. Because they do have incredible art direction. I mean, look how cool and artistic this looks. Who would have thought? Who comes up with this? Stacking a couple of old boats on top of each other and then making a city out of it? How fucking cool is that?
Herald catastrophe!
Oh yeah, for anyone who doesn't want to get spoiled, get spoilers of the gear sets, do not watch this little bit, because I'm going to check out my gear. I think that everyone was surprised by the Monster Hunter World results, and I think that a big part of that is because it is at Metacritic, it's like a 9.1, 9.2. Everyone is saying that this game is fantastic. So I have one he is like a die-hard casual gamer. He has a kid, he's married, he has a, you know, he's married guy, and he's just a normal guy, just a normal standard, I want to be cool guy. and he plays a little bit of games like Horizon, and he plays FIFA. And really, last week he messaged me saying, "Hey, this and this enemy, does this drop this material?" So I was really shocked. I was like, I asked him like, "Are you playing Monster Hunter?" He's like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "What? How the fuck do you know about Monster Hunter?" And he saw a video online and said, "Hey, this looks cool." And that is really the power of a good game and of social media, that people who weren't really interested in these games before now see how awesome these can actually be and buy them. And there are three other friends of mine who wants to get Monster Hunter World, but they are crying about, I don't have money, or they're playing something else. So that's kind of a bummer, but eventually they will buy it. So like, holy shit, Monster Hunter, you know, finally people recognize this as a freaking good game. It's so cool. And I think, new prediction. I still need to make a video about all our predictions. I won't say mine, our prediction. New prediction. The Western market is going to try and make something like Monster Hunter, just like they did with Dark Souls. I mean, Dark Souls was just a success. Demon's Souls was a success. Then Dark Souls 2. It was such a big success. All of a sudden, there were the indie developers making Soul-like games, you know, and of course we have Western developers who are now making, you know, Dark Soul-like games like The Surge and The Lords of the Fallen. So, because of this giant success, my prediction is we will get Western-ish games like Monster Hunter, where farming, grinding, and gear grinding is like the big focus on the game. We're gonna see that. Mark my words. Do I know what? So again, anyone who doesn't want to get spoiled by all the gear sets you have in Monster Hunter, look the other way for a minute or 5, because I'm gonna check out the sets. And these are all the high level end game sets. Ooh, nothing else. This is actually a bit cooler. This set is a little bit cooler. Its armor is a little bit bigger. But you can definitely see a big change in this set. The only thing I don't like is that his coil is small. Like, this would look better. I'd probably go for this. Even though this has a slot and focus. What is focus? That's not even a good skill. That's fucking annoying. Well, we're gonna see if I can mix match it. But we're gonna go that for later. As you can see, you know, I have played 62 hours and look what I can make. Nothing. Almost nothing. I don't have the materials for it. You are going to grind and farm and grind and farm and grind and farm for hours and hours to finally get your gear to just one set of gear, and then you want to grind even more. This is the end gear. Look how cool it looks. I mean, this is fucking cool. This one looks better though. I think that this one looks better. I don't like all the shiny stuff, but this is fucking cool. And you can clearly see that they're working on rarity 9 or 10 because 8 is the highest. Yeah. Well, you know what I feel this entire generation? And I mean, the Japanese gaming market was at its best in, of course, the older generations, you know, Super Nintendo, PS2. But on PS3, you know, they fell down from heaven, you know, they fell down from their throne. And I understand, I mean, many Japanese games on PS3 are just mediocre, they're not that good. So, even as a fan of Japanese games, I want to say that Japanese games are the best, but I have to be honest, you know, and say yes, on PS3, a lot of them were just mediocre. They were not that good. They were not that great. You know, you had some really good ones, but that's it. So I'm so happy that this generation, they finally get back on their throne and they're finally getting the recognition they should get. This is also a fucking awesome gear set. This one. Really cool. I can still not make this. Ha! This one is, I don't know. I don't know what I think about this. Like, it's a cool gear set, but not my style. I don't know. But, now that I think about it, maybe Kada! This looks pretty good. Now we have to just the Rathalos. This doesn't look bad actually. Of course, this also doesn't look bad, but this looks better. Yeah, the PSP got all the PS2 games, you know, pretty much. Like all the good PS2 games is what the PS3 got, PSP got. Holy shit! It also looks. Oh yeah, this is also a pretty good one. This one is all right, but this one is freaking cool. It's all the low rank gear. So now with weapons, upgrade equipment, I'm gonna. I don't. Oh, we'll finally get this one. Azure Rathalos. Holy shit! See, that's why I like this game. I have never even fought the Azure Rathalos. I don't even know what the fuck it is. I am a little bit disappointed though in one thing, is that some of the end weapons look the same, like this one, and then this is just an upgraded version. That's kind of lame. Rathalos Ruby. But yeah, I probably go with this one first, and then I don't know. Like this one is cool too, but I don't like the weapon. Look how lame the weapon is. But the armor is cool. This one is a cool one too. This one. Raffian Spike. I can almost make this one. Yeah. You know, that's pretty much it. I don't know why. Maybe because the PlayStation, this generation is so easy to develop for, or you know, maybe the Japanese gaming market finally caught up with the Western one, and they finally know how to make a HD era game. But somehow, both big companies and the smaller Japanese companies are finally back in the console industry. And because you don't really have a handheld anymore, I mean, we don't have a PSP, the Vita is pretty much gone, you know, the 3DS is nothing special anymore. I mean, you know, graphically, it's nothing. And the Switch is, you know, theoretically, the Switch can play all the games the PlayStation can play. So if you are a small company from Japan or from the West, but we're talking about Japan, if you're a small company from Japan and you want to make a small RPG, give them one good reason why they should not make it multi-platform. Why not make a game for PS4 and Switch, or Switch and PS4? And that is exactly what we are seeing right now. That so many games that are being announced is PS4 and Switch. So we won't probably see that big of a difference where hundreds of Japanese games are only available on 3DS, only available on PSP, because it's easier for them and better to also make them on the consoles. It doesn't really matter if the sales of the Switch are not close to 3DS. Japan still has huge supply issues, that's number one. And worldwide, it is selling like hotcakes. So this is also a cool one. Look how fucking cool this looks. Jagas. But the affinity is 0.30. Damn. This is a really good one. Holy shit, it looks cool. Yeah, so here's one of the examples. You have the Rarity 7 weapon, and the Rarity 8 is the same. It looks the same. I don't like that. That's just meh. Look at this weapon though. But there's such a huge amount of fucking cool weapons. Like this one, the Exterminator. Look how cool that looks. Holy damn. Exterminator. Wyvern Blade. Imperial. Holy shit, this is a pretty good one. The black steel cannot upgrade, or you have to make this. Let's see if I can make the black steel though. I mean, this has 15 affinity, 594 attack, well that's not that much, but 180 against dragons and 2 slots. And it looks fucking cool. Force equipment, weapon, longsword. Ah, I can make it, but I need money. Okay, that's cool. The Supremacy Blade, you need coins. Coins you can obtain in the arena. The weapon I have, Charge Blade. Man, there's so much, you know, it really seems that, oh my god, you already have you can already make all the gear sets and all the weapons, but it's going to take you so long to get all the materials to, you know, get just one rarity 8 weapon. Just one. It's going to take you hours and hours. Let alone, you know, I've been farming for my Revelos gear for holy damn how many hours now, and I still need the last piece. I don't know. As I mentioned, the Switch still has huge supply issues. I don't know. I think that the Switch is going to be a gigantic success in Japan. It is the perfect game system, a console and a handheld. But we shall see. We shall see what the future holds. But you have to understand that the 3DS sold poorly up until it got a big price cut. The Switch is just absolutely outselling every week at 300. So, I don't know. We're gonna see.
Shut your mouth. I didn't take this money for the olives. Oh, you want me money?
Yeah, $10 she's got there.
I don't want my money. She said I'm going to get me a salad and a hook. Arlena, and you pay for it.
Okay. Okay. Oh, damn it. I do have to leave, though, in a couple of minutes. Yeah, that is a huge attach rate. And I just hope that it's not a spike. You know, it's not a like, oh, it's going to sell 1 week and then it just drops back. If somehow the PlayStation 4 can keep selling like 45,000 systems a week, then it's going to be up this year compared to last year. And then we still have Ni no Kuni to boost it. We have Fist of the North Star to boost sales, Dynasty Warriors 9, Grand Blue Fantasy, maybe Kingdom Hearts, maybe Final Fantasy 7. This could be a really good year in Japan for hardware sales and software sales. But it is incredible that in 1 week a game sold about 2 million in Japan. That almost never happens for a console. That almost never happens. That is incredible. And let's not forget about Dragon Ball Fighter Z. 2 million in 1 week. Holy shit, that is incredible. And a friend of mine is playing the game. A couple of my friends are playing the game. And they say it's absolutely fantastic. It's incredible. Like, myself, I don't buy fighting games for $60, but I definitely want to get the game. That's insane. Like, in 1 week, we have 2 million seller games. You know, PS2 holds the record of most million sellers. I think it's like 300, 317, 327. I don't know how many million sellers there are on PS4, PS2, but that's a record. No game system has ever sold more million sellers than that. Let's see if I can check out. So, you know, it has a chance of having a big library. Well, it already has a big library, and it has a chance of having as much million sellers or even more, because Red Dead Redemption is going to be a 10 million seller. You know, Call of Duty million seller, FIFA is all going to be an extra million seller. God of War probably 5 million, Horizon 10, Uncharted 10. That is also something that almost never happens with Sony. A 10 million seller. Now we have Uncharted, probably Horizon, probably God of War. You know, it's great. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna see. Whee! I think because of the success of Monster Hunter World on consoles, there could definitely be a chance that they're like, let's bring back Freedom Wars. You know, that could definitely happen. But H-Brand, I am leaving. I'm going to get a cake for my mom, and then go to my mom. So it was nice talking to you. I'll be back in the midday or in the evening. Tomorrow I have a day off, so I'll be playing or this or Lost, because I want to beat Lost Sphere too, you know. But I'm so into Monster Hunter at the moment. But thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for chatting. Always a pleasure. And like always, you're gonna see me next time. Oh, that's the wrong one.